If you enjoy our show, spread the love wherever you listen by rating, reviewing, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff to help us get ourselves out there. And with that said, let's start the show. I'm Ode. That's Vicky. I'm me. You're you. We are we.
Oh my God, that was so corny.
The You, Me, We
goodness.
podcast. So, Vicky, how are you?
I'm tired.
Why you so tired?
I don't know. I'm just so tired.
No,
I'm trying to figure out why I'm tired.
you're tired of Goya and their...
My hair looks crazy. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I don't know why.
You're tired because of all of the stress of the current climate,
Of having to
dealing with politics, identity politics, or having to educate people on identity politics. By people, I mean your people, well, our people, but your people nationality-wise. But no, actually, you're American. Am I wrong? No, but seriously. How are you?
I'm tired.
Okay, good.
No, really, I'm physically exhausted and I don't know why. Maybe because I'm hungry.
There we go. So let's get into our conversation so you can go eat. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, clearly, obviously, we wanted to talk about the importance of Goya because that's in the headlines.
Are they important?
I'm joking. No, okay.
They were an important
There you
staple.
go. They were a staple.
In the community that made them.
Yes. And when you say the community that made them, you are referring to
The Latino community.
they put Goya on the map. Now
They made Goya so important that Goya felt like they had the wings to spread themselves across white America.
Now, I'm going to let you run with most of this conversation. Here's why. I'm not going to sound ignorant. I guess growing up, I never really associated Goya just with the Latin the Latin community, as in how big it was. You know, it's like
come?
I don't know. I just did. I
Is
know
it because you really didn't have Latino people in your community?
Yeah, that's what it was.
growing up?
Yeah, growing up in Brooklyn, the part that I did, we had a lot of fellow West Indian, Caribbean people. You know.
And you guys use Goya too?
Yeah, we had it.
As much as we do?
I want to say yeah, because we had it in the house. It was a brand. It was another brand that I thought was popular.
That's important. I didn't know that either. I would never
For
associate.
me, I could be wrong.
My assumption.
For other people.
My assumption was that it's a staple in the Latino community, and in other communities that you guys have your own companies, possibly from back home that you
we had
trust
some
more, and those are the spices that's where you get your spices.
Oh, we definitely had some spices and brands that we would draw more to. But
would you say your house was a Goya house?
No, we weren't a Goya house. But
I feel like for the majority of Latinos, their houses are Goya houses.
House. Now, when you say Goya house, what does that mean when I open up your cabinet? Another conversation. Cabinet, cupboard, conversation I had with a friend last night. What am I seeing when I open up your cabinet
you see
growing up?
The spices, the beans, the tomato paste, the tomato sauce.
Everything's Goya.
Most of it is Goya.
What was it about the brand that drew the culture?
They just captured our flavor.
They captured your flavor, or they became the flavor? It was like chicken or the egg. What came first? Like they captured your flavor, or okay, wait. In DR, is everything Goya?
I don't know.
Or the majority is the brand as popular down there as it is up here, where you guys are trying to recreate?
I've never lived in DR. That's a question for someone who has lived a significant amount of time in DR.
Let's call your grandmother. Get her on the air. we probably should.
My grandmother. First of all,
I know she's been here for a long time.
My grandmother.
But she grew up there.
She grew. We're talking about someone in the farmland. It's a whole different life. I think that a fair person to ask would be like Alba. Alba knows.
True.
She would know if Goya is a big thing out there.
So let's talk about. So why is it that we're talking about Goya?
Because the owner, well, not the owner, the CEO, who is the grandchild of the founders, was up in the White House brown-nosing the president.
As one does when he or she or they visit the White House, I would think.
I think, and that's what he was saying. He was like, I'm not taking it back because the same way that I went to the White House when Obama was president is the same way that I went to, which is fine. Go to the White House. He was like, I'm not going to refuse an invitation from the White House. Like, okay, well, just to let you know, plenty have done it.
Was he trying to pitch it as, I just respect the administration, no matter who it is that's in office?
No.
He did take it one step. Okay, he took it one step further. I really haven't seen the video of what he said. What did he?
He was just like sucking his butt.
What did he say?
He was like, we are so lucky to have such a great leader as Mr. Trump, a builder or whatever. Like, shut your
pillar of the community
up.
And
he's like, I'm not going to be bullied into apologizing. Okay, bro, you ain't got to apologize. But just like you have a right to free speech, so do your consumers.
And the request.
And your consumers who made you are saying, vete pa la mierda.
Should I ask you to translate? I feel like I shouldn't. No. I feel like, wait, let me know first if it's safe for you to translate on our family. Okay. I thought it was going to be worse than that. The second one was worse, wasn't it?
Vete pa'l carajo means go to hell.
Oh, I feel like your aunt said that to me a couple of times. Or that last part.
Probably. It's just such a slap in the face. Because, yes, he has a right to
support whatever candidate he wants to support.
And he has a right to do that. However, I have an issue with CEOs or a CEO of a company who was made by the community that this president, without a doubt, this is not an assumption. This is not now you're just pulling things out of air. No, this man has made it dangerous to be Latino. This man's rhetoric has cost the lives of so many Latinos. Let's not even all the people this man has empowered to come after people of color. But all the Latinos that have died at the hands or have paid their life by being imprisoned or whatever because of this president this y'all president has emboldened these people to see Latinos as, what is it that he called us? Murderers, rapists, whatever. So you're high-fiving the guy who is endangering the lives of the communities that made you?
Through his rhetoric and speech.
You. There's no doubt about it, my mans. Goya ain't nothing without the Latino community. You are nothing. Nothing. So, for you to go out there and literally put your face between his cheeks and suck as much air as you can, it's like, that is such a slap in the face of the people that made you. It is a slap in the face. And therefore, now we're like, yo, who else has the seasonings we need? Oh, there's La Fe, there's Del Monte. Now we're like, oh, look at all these other brands that are made also by Latino companies that we can support. Because there's a saying that is like, tú te crees la última Coca-Cola en el desierto. And
what y'all said about Coca-Cola?
And that means you really think that you're the last, that you think you're the last Coca-Cola in the desert.
I was guessing, but I didn't think. I thought maybe I heard
no,
wrong,
that's the saying.
you
think you're the last Coca-Cola in the desert, and it's like, no, bro. It's not just you. Goya is not the one and only. Mm-hmm. There are many. We just never paid attention because Goya was the go-to. Goya is nothing.
And do we know for sure? And I say this because it relates to my view on the topic. Do we know for sure that? What are some of the companies? Del Monte. Do we know that there's something with a B? Badia. Do we know that they're?
So is my concern.
Let me finish the question.
I know what you're saying.
Do we know that as far up we go, up their CEO ladder or their chain of command, that they aren't or they don't share the same views as the CEO of Goya. They don't
Badia
support.
does.
Badia does.
Yes, Badia does, which is why
They have the
I
same
was
views.
very hesitant about sharing on my personal Instagram. I was very hesitant about sharing them as an option.
And when you say they do, like as a
the
company,
CEO is a Cuban guy, but he is so far up his own ass that he is a major Republican. Now, let me clarify. I don't think that all Republicans are pro Trump, as we have seen. Where like Bush and what's the other guy?
Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney. They're like, nope, we Republican, but we not that crazy. we not trailer trash Republican. That's him. So he is. Trump is the trailer trash of Republicans, and all the other Republicans are like, we're more well mannered, in a sense, and so we don't associate with this kind of trailer trash behavior. But he donates a lot of money to the Republican Party, which is alarming. But everyone has
friends.
Everyone has just before anyone takes this the wrong way, Democrats and Republicans are all very alarming to me. None is more alarming than the other. I just think Trump supporters are the ones that I can't stand. But Republican and Democrats, they're both equally alarming. So the Badia president is a huge Republican. So that's why I say, like, if you want other options, they're one of the options. But if you are so pro-Democrat, which, whatever floats your boat, maybe that's not a company that you want to support. But the overall message that we're trying to send here is that Goya, we will tear you down like we built you up. And so if I got to put all my money in Badia to embolden them until we got to knock them off their seat, then we're going to do that. We need to do that because these companies need to know, like, yo, yes, you answer to your stockholders if you're publicly traded. You answer whatever. But at the end of the day, you answer to the people.
Consumer.
You answer to the consumer.
All that money you got in your account.
We gave it to you.
We gave it to you.
Generationally, we have given it to you.
So my only thing, and I get the movement, the boycott, the post, the memes. I'm liking the memes coming out. That's the best part about everything.
Nice.
When I first heard the conversation, it made me think of, and we've had this conversation before, it made me think of, I was trying to find a way to describe it. And I thought about people who subscribe to the vegan lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And even within that, there's some who, you good?
Sorry.
There's some who, for those on watching the video, even in the video, you probably can't see what just happened.
I'm playing with this thing Ode has on the desk, and I just did not expect for it to almost fall.
There's some who are all in. Like, this is the way, this is a lifestyle. So they make sure that they are what's what I'm looking for? They're in not compliance. They're in, like, everything about their life is along those lines. What they wear, what they eat, what they...
Oh, yeah, true vegans don't wear leather.
How they talk, the message, their whole lifestyle is that. Mm-hmm. So they take the time to make sure that every aspect of their life goes along with that ideology, that way of living. So it definitely made me think of, okay, I know that there is a way, but it's safe to say that it's kind of hard for us to make sure that every aspect of our life is in correlation to our political views. So are we? And I'm not saying this is what I'm not saying this to knock people who want to boycott Goya, but it just made me think of, okay, are we making sure that the people who are behind some of the brands that we wear, buy, which I know some people do make sure of this, but a lot of us don't. We aren't checking to see if, because I'm sure right now with all the stuff I have in my studio, the CEOs of some one of these companies is donating a lot of money to not just Trump, but to things that might be against my values, my morals, and things I believe in. Mm-hmm. I know that's a hard thing to do, but that's usually what comes to mind, at least of lately, when we go hard for a certain thing, especially with the whole politics stuff, which you or I, we're not hardcore like into politics, but we do follow what's going on. But it's like we can do. Prime example would be, I'm sure there's people out there who are on board with this, but yet still are probably huge fans of the UFC, Ultimate Fighting.
What's wrong with Ultimate Fighting?
The head of UFC spoke at the convention for Trump when he was running.
Okay.
Like, he's a hardcore fan.
I don't know.
And I'm sure there's people who are hardcore boycott Goya for the BS, but I can't wait till that next UFC 458. I don't know what number they're up to. So it just made me think of that.
So here's the problem with that kind of thought, with that kind of thought process. And here's the problem.
I know it's hard to do. I know it's hard.
No. Here's the problem that I see with that kind of thought process. When you start to be like, well, if I'm not going to go hard for this, why would I go hard for this? It's like, why not just focus on the one and then move up? The point is that you have to let these companies know that, like, yo, you cannot disrespect the community that made you. So Goya and the UFC guy, y'all could be Trump supporters all day, but only one of them was built by the Latino community. Was given that avenue to blow up the way that they did. Only one of them did. And now you're high-fiving the president who's putting kids in cages because they're Latino? Are you serious? Who's trying to repeal DACA to send all these people home, which, by the way, DACA is not only Latinos, it is all kinds of people. Because
what's another situation like that where...
Like, where I've even been asked, like, so how's your experience with DACA? And I'm like...
Excuse me?
Excuse me? I'm like, what the hell is DACA? Like, I didn't know. But, you know, like... Only one of them has been funded for generations by a community. So I don't care what the thing from the guy of the UFC, what he's doing. I don't care.
No, you know what it is? I think it's that it.
I care about the one who has to answer to me.
I know, I get it. I think my concern would be it leaves an opening for someone when you're trying to like when you're trying to argue your side. It leaves an opening. No, that makes sense.
And I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because it's as though I'm arguing with somebody who agrees with, has a different opinion of mine. And I'm telling them why. I'm saying everything you're saying, but I forgot, and I'm wearing my UFC shirt. It just leaves that opening for them to come back at me like, really? Are you really that mad at Trump and Trump supporters? Because look at the T-shirt you're wearing. It just leaves that opening for them to be petty and like,
then
try to rebut you with that,
Let them be petty, but Goya has to answer to the people. I don't care about nobody else. Right now, my fight is with Goya. My annoyance is with Goya. I don't give a damn about other Trump supporters. I give a damn about the one that has to answer to the community that made them. They are immune, and even then, you can even stretch it. They are a community built by the same people that Trump has put their lives in danger and told them that they don't matter. So, which is not just the Latino community, the Caribbean community.
Those shithole countries, as he said.
All the shithole countries that he talked about are the ones that made that company. So why the hell are you out there high-fiving the president and saying that we are so blessed to have a leader like him? What?
But
then that leaves the question to answer, right? Because it's just so funny. Like, my man's, you're not even Latino.
What is he, the CEO?
He's European.
From?
Spain. His grandparents are immigrants to Puerto Rico.
I'm just looking at your mic levels go up.
Immigrated again into the United States. They are Euro immigrants, okay? They are Europeans. And that's why his ass feels that way, because he sees us. He sees himself like un español. And he sees us like just the Caribbean Spanish people. Like let me not say that. But he sees us like he's like above us. And so it's like, it makes sense, but this is why. Y'all always aiming to be with these people, and these people are not aiming to be with you. Once again, they come to your land, they take all your shit, and then they capitalize on that, and they disrespect you. That's literally what he did. Makes me want to Google his name in the property taxes and find his damn address.
And right now, I'm just I'm purposely playing the devil's advocate right now, because I know these are the responses that some people are putting out there. So just about everybody who's posted boycott Goya probably got a cupboard full of Goya right now.
Oh, dang,
right?
I feel mad triggered because I know you're calling me out. But then let me clarify that thinking, which I think is very, very idiotic. It's already there.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say it, and then I went out and bought Mad Goya and put it in my cabinet. It's already there. He already got my money.
Mm-hmm.
I already gave it to him. It's already there. The point is that moving forward, there will be no Goya purchases. That's the point. So when they see that dollar...
You told Khalil this?
He don't even fuck with Goya like that.
He gonna eat and be like, is this Badia in this food? This don't taste.
But, like, it doesn't... To me, I'm just like... That's such an ass backwards thinking. Like, it's already there. It's already there.
That reminds me of the people who...
I'm not going to throw it out because I already paid for it.
No.
They already have my money.
You got to be like the Nike detractors, whoever, that are burning their Nike items.
Let them burn their items.
Because Nike sided with Colin Kaepernick.
They already have my money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I go grocery shopping, who the hell knows whenever that'll be, because I've been trying to avoid that for like forever. When I go grocery shopping, I am now going to be mindful. Yo, when I get to that seasoning aisle, I'm not looking at nothing that says Goya. I'm jotting down everything that I write down. I'm gonna be like, oh no, I can't get that. That says Goya. And then they don't. And then the thing is that like one person messaged me like, yeah, but tell that to the grandmas. Okay, but how many grandmas compared to us are there?
And who's doing the shopping for grandma? Who's shopping for grandma?
We hold the power. Mm-hmm. We are the target audience. Young adults, we are the audience. So you know what? Let grandma cook with her Goya. That's fine. But I got the buying power. Mm-hmm. I'm the one that's spending more money than grandma. Most likely grandma's on a fixed income. I'm not.
Don't go doubting grandma. Grandma got money.
No, but for the most part, most elderly people are on a fixed income, whether it be by choice or whatever. They're not working. So at some point, it is some kind of fixed income, whether that income is like $40,000 a month, $4,000 a month, or $400 a month. They're on a fixed income. They only have so much buying power, and there's a smaller population of them than there is of us. And the generation behind us, we're over it. We're not putting up with this shit, and we have the buying power. And you don't want to stay. You don't have to apologize. Like he's like, I'm not gonna apologize. I'm not gonna be bullied. My man, you don't have to apologize, and you don't have to be bullied, but you will suffer the consequences of being such an ignorant asshole.
Here's a question. We find out that the CEO of Goya is a Trump supporter.
He is.
That's all we find out. Is the response the same? There's no him. No. There's no him visiting the White House saying what he said. We just find out he's a Trump supporter or he votes Republican. Do you think the response is at this level? I don't know. I think it's different if he doesn't say that.
Well,
there will be some backlash.
There is backlash.
Yeah, but I don't.
Again, supporting a candidate.
Yeah.
Who is attacking who is emboldening the attack on the livelihood of the communities that serve his company, that made him who he is, that made his family who they are.
So in an alternate universe, he's just on the list that always comes out. These companies donate to the Trump campaign, or these people vote Republican. He's just on the list.
I didn't even know there was a list.
No. Remember how that list came out recently with, it was like Wendy's, McDonald's,
Let me tell you something.
blah, blah, blah.
I don't follow.
We had this conversation, remember? And then we found out that it was just like the owner of a Wendy's, not Wendy's.
They were franchises.
I mean, we're not talking about Chick-fil-A. That's a whole different story.
Well, listen, Chick-fil-A is like, listen, you know what we're about. That's what we do. And we're not changing. But again, they are not a company that was...
Yeah.
You know, like, they were not built up like Goya. Goya was built up by a specific market. And that is the very market that this orange thing wants to make go away. From
what you know of he's
more concerned about his tax breaks than he is
definitely. Definitely. I want to get back to that. From what you know of your people, I felt weird saying that, your people, the Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, any Latino community, is this something that, like most fights, dies out, or are we ride or die with this one? We going with this one.
I don't know, but I know for
We
me,
will.
but
We gonna
for
Will
me, that
Smith
was-
this one.
I know for me, I'm just like, I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
Once those cans are donated, we're done with Goya. Which I have a food pantry. You can donate all that to. But then somebody might want to take it. No, I do have a food. I thought that recently about hey, what if we donated all the Goya products that we have that we haven't used? I was like, oh shoot, we could donate that to my job's food pantry.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Like I'm not. I'm okay, not ever putting my money into Goya ever again.
Just so everyone knows, we're just not gonna enjoy the spaghetti when we eat it with the Goya products we have left over. We're not gonna enjoy it. We're gonna eat it. We're just not gonna
I'm
enjoy
gonna eat it. I paid for it.
I'm saying we're not. We're gonna eat it in protest. We're not gonna enjoy it, but. Yep, no, but please, if you have stuff, don't. I saw some like
a lady was like, do not throw it out, like donate it. There's food pantries, which is true. I don't think that you're. I get it if you're posting videos of you no longer donating it,
yeah.
And I mean of you throwing it out.
I saw some funny videos.
I
cool.
get the
anger,
the anger and wanting to express your anger. I also don't think that you are not wrong to throw your stuff out where you're like, no, I already paid for this. I'm gonna use this. They already got my money. I think that the big one is when you go back out there, you're not touching no Goya shit. You're like, oh, I used to buy this one. You know what? Let me actually look at what's on the shelf. Oh shit, there's a shit ton of options. I never even noticed it. And hopefully our supermarkets can go back to a Goya shelf instead of a Goya aisle. Because I remember having to go to college in a white town.
You went to the ethnic aisle?
I went to the ethnic aisle, and they had 3 shelves of all the Goya products.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, all right, well, at least they got Goya products. And now it's like, nah, I want that shelf here. They don't deserve the money. Bring the Dominican companies. Bring the Mexican companies. Bring the Salvadorian companies. Bring all these companies. The Colombian companies. All those companies. Bring them on. Let them thrive in this season.
Let me ask you a question, and for it's a question for everybody. The CEO of what company better not come out their face? Like, the CEO of what product, what company better not come out their face? Like, what's something that you just be like, damn, I gotta boycott this? Damn, I can't cancel this. The CEO.
Funny? I would think like a Dominican product, like, but all they do is come out their face. So I'm definitely not mentioning no Dominican products because all they do is come out their face.
If the CEO of Plátano, in general, come on, his or her.
Because we know there's none.
The CEO of Plátano. Wow.
What's a product that you're like, yo?
It made, on my way home today, I was like, yo, let me Google Dunkin' Donuts and find out what they doing. As I sipped on my Dunkin' Donuts.
You would fall apart without Dunkin' Donuts.
I feel like coffee, in general, because coffee runs the world, or a lot of people's worlds, that would be interesting if somebody was to find out the CEO of their, like, because it's an addiction for some people.
I don't know. I don't think I have one.
Like a product.
CEO of... it's my thing. Like, if I was, like, the CEO of Hershey's. Mm-hmm. But... there's like a bunch of other chocolate companies
who's like the company? Is it like M&M Mars? That's like the company that everybody's under, all the chocolate. I have a friend that actually works for like that company.
Do they get a discount?
All I know is that come Halloween, his house is the house to go to.
So we going to that house.
They're in Pennsylvania.
We driving over there.
But he pretty much works for
Nestle.
I don't know if he works for Nestle, but I know he works for a chocolate company.
But is Nestle owned? No, hold on. Who is Hershey owned by?
I don't know.
They're owned by the Hershey Trust Company.
Oh, so Hershey is
the company.
company.
Own a minority stake. I think it's a publicly traded company.
Okay. So,
and I think L'Oreal owns Nestle. I don't know, something like that. It's all.
But I'm curious as to.
I don't know. I don't think that there's any one product that I'm like, they cannot mess this up because they're about to mess up my whole life.
It's like how many? Well, no, there's options. A random example I gave. I was thinking to myself was how many DJs will be torn if the CEO of Serato and Tractor say that they are hardcore Trump supporters, and you are a DJ that is a devoted Democrat, as well as in a demographic that people feel Trump has, spoken out against, or insinuated violence against, or whatever. What do you do? I'm trying to think of some other products that we just can't do without.
I don't think there's anything that I absolutely cannot do without. I think I can do without everything pretty much.
This once again made me think of a conversation we had recently off air about people being asked to support like a candidate when, or not even just being asked, but being judged for not supporting a certain candidate when we don't know everybody's relation to that candidate or that candidate's history. An example we talked about was Hillary Clinton and talking to somebody who is of Haitian descent, who will have a different view of the Clintons than we do because of the Clintons' history with that country. But some of us might automatically be like, hey, if you don't vote for her, that's a vote for Trump, or that's you,
which
blah, blah, blah.
I understand too.
Which argument?
Listen, I understand both arguments. I understand the whole not wanting to vote for Hillary because she's a crook. And
worse. Allegedly.
The nice word is crook.
We're just going off of what people have been saying.
No, she's a crook. No, that.
Allegedly.
No. She is a legit crook. Ask Haitian people. That shit is documented. The Clintons, her husband, and her daughter, they are crooks.
Tinfoil hat.
But I do understand the whole a vote not for Hillary is a vote for Trump. But how does that make sense when she still got majority of the votes and she still lost?
It's a bigger story.
So it's a huge,
bigger conversation.
But yeah, Goya is trash and they're canceled, and that's just mad disrespectful. And I just felt like it was a huge slap in the face of the same people that built them up, and they no longer deserve the immense generational support. I can't think of a company that generationally has stayed with a demographic or has stayed with a market. I can't think of any company that has been able to do something like that.
If you
Pampers?
Well, I guess. Babies
Pampers?
in general. If you have an opportunity, I definitely encourage you all to check out, I forgot the name of it. There's a YouTube video that talks about...
Pizzagate?
No. The head of Apple, Tim Cook, something Cook, I forgot his first name. The head of Apple and his relationship with Donald Trump. It's an interesting video. It's an interesting video in like leadership, to be honest, or running a company that deals works on that scale. It's an interesting video because I was trying to find like a large company that I'm sure a lot of people can't do without, that falls along the same lines of Goya when it comes to the
I think
the
with
story.
the life change, any company can be done without. The same way they were made, they can be taken down.
Okay. No,
Yeah,
but
I
if you get a chance, definitely watch that video. It's pretty. Vicky, I encourage you to watch it too. It's an interesting video, and even the way they broke down like Cook, whatever his first name is the leader that Apple needed at this time. And they were saying, what's his name? The other guy?
I don't follow Apple anything.
Well, they were saying the other guy would have probably messed things up for Apple dealing with Trump because he wouldn't have been as savvy enough to navigate the company through this type of administration. But anyways, let's ask some questions, Vicky. Grab a card, any card.
I grabbed one. Well, you grabbing two cards? Or
No, I got one. No. We'll do one. I made a sound because I'll tell you off air.
Tell me now.
No, it's because the
transparency.
It's because by next time we do this whole portion of our show is going to be a little more personalized. But this time when you pick the card up, it was on screen. But anyways,
there.
So our goal. Okay. Anyway, so for those who are tuning in for the first time, this is our segment of the show where we ask some questions to each other. Great conversation starters. It's a good way of bringing up topics that, normally we probably wouldn't have thought to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
We actually do this exercise with our therapist.
We do, which is funny because we get a chance to actually talk about them because in full transparency, but not really. We answer the questions, but we don't go deep into it.
Yeah.
We threw a Will and Jada on these questions.
I was trying to find a way to bring that in, but I was saying them. I was like, how can I work in the word entanglement?
We entangle with these questions.
So I'll go first. I'll answer. I'll answer first.
No, you always answer.
I'll read first. Okay. So Vicky, what is or was the biggest surprise about engaged life?
Wow, that's a good question. That's a good card.
Originally, of course, it said married life, but I
Oh.
said engaged life.
Oh, okay. The biggest surprise about engaged life, outside of the obvious, coronavirus. I think that I don't know if I want to say this on here.
I'm curious now. Is it PG?
Oh no, it's PG.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying, on a personal level, I don't know if I want to say this on air.
Okay, go ahead.
That I'm a little relieved that we actually didn't get married when we said we were getting married.
Okay. I think I'm there with you.
Yeah, we've had this conversation, but
Yeah.
I think the most surprising thing, that's what says surprising, right?
Yeah.
The most surprising thing about engaged life is that by the time our wedding day rolled around, we didn't have our wedding because of coronavirus, but it was a relief because I don't think we were ready to get married that day.
All right.
We would have gotten married, but it just wasn't in the feeling that
Yeah.
if we got married today, we would have, it would how
It
we
would be
feel
different?
today. And let me clear that up. Hold on.
You sound messy.
Yeah, I'm starting to confuse myself. Okay. I'm glad that we didn't get married because we, for the most part of our engagement, for the original wedding day, we were not in a great place.
I agree.
However, when our wedding day rolled around, we were more where we are now. We're in a better place.
Yeah. No.
So I think that what was surprising was how relieved I was that we were no longer getting married when we decided early May. I think we decided early May that we weren't going to get...
A little earlier, I think.
No. I remember I said after May. I won't decide anything after May.
Oh,
I'll decide something after May.
I had decided for myself.
Okay, so see, that's my point. So I am... The surprising thing was that I was just honestly very relieved that we didn't get married because leading up to it, it was just not good. Not good that we were gonna break up, but just that's not the way you want to feel on your way to marriage.
Yeah. You didn't feel how you thought you would have felt
on your way to the wedding day.
Yeah.
But I feel that if we this time around, we are in that feeling, not in that elevated I'm gonna be a bride. Because I think we're just past that phase. But we are just in a really good phase.
Okay.
And I think that leading up this time around will be good.
Cool. What you got for me?
What's the hardest thing about our relationship?
The hardest thing
The
about
absolute
our
hardest.
relationship? The absolute hardest thing about our relationship currently, I'm going to say, is to kind of call back something we talked about in one of our recent episodes. The hardest thing is our communication language and the differences in our communication languages, or even in our argument
Having to
languages.
adjust to them, right?
Yes, I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah, I feel like we both mean well, but we both have little things that
we're learning how to do it now. And I'm not gonna lie, you were irritating me earlier because I was like, oh my god, why don't we just shut up? But when I walked away, I was like, this is what I wanted. I wanted better communication. And hello, it's not going to magically happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so if this is some of our
Growing pains.
then good. Then that means we are growing.
Cool.
In this pain, but it was painful. But I'm not gonna lie, when you were like, let's take like 30 minutes, and then after 5 minutes I was like, all right, we're good. Because we were good. We were naturally just good. So it was a relief. It is, the growing pains are a little annoying, but I think we both know we're meaning well.
Yeah. So as we move forward with the You, Me, We podcast, I know we have our conversations that we have our questions that we do. And in the past, we used to do, I say in the past, like it was a long time ago, we would always do our What Grinds Your Gears, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a known thing, what grinds your gears, that whole statement. So I think, moving forward, doesn't have to be today, this episode.
Why? Because you were about to be like, yo, she's about to be all over. She's going to ask
Oh,
me
no,
right
no,
now.
that's because I got something, but not this episode. From now on, starting with, next episode or after, what we will do is on air, we will have what I would like us to call a petty reflective conversation. But only one person gets to go each episode. And I say petty, meaning that we don't have to stay within the official guidelines of what our therapist says a reflective conversation should look like. But we will implement some of the things, such as the way we start one. So I would say, Vicky, I would like to have a reflective conversation. And when we do it for the next show, we're going to explain more about how this works. But it's one person per episode. And we have to stick with, and we'll decide which elements are we keeping and what petty elements do we want to add in, right?
Oh, I thought you were going a completely different direction.
So are we cool with that? And that would be the You Me We podcast structure moving forward. You guys are gonna get a conversation, our questions, and our petty reflective conversation. Cool? And that way each of us has a week or two to plan what you have, and we will always have something instead of both of us being here like, what did she do to grind my gears last week?
Okay.
All right. So we'll start next time, even though I do have something.
Sounds dangerous.
No, I thought I said a petty, not a real reflective conversation, because then we'll get into an argument if you have a real. Nope, we wouldn't get into an argument.
Exactly.
Because it's a reflective conversation. And with that said,
I don't know how you want to go about this, so you're going to have to walk me through it.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for tuning into the You, Me, We podcast.